Hello guys and welcome to this video. Now in this box is a very special watch to me. I was fortunate enough to buy this for myself back in November 2020. It's been almost like eight or 9 months since then, and I still haven't got around to actually sharing it with you. But it's a very special watch to me because it really marked an occasion. I was starting up this channel, I was starting up my Seiko modding here in Dubai. Really making something of my hobby. I wasn't just buying watches, I was modifying them, I was building them for people. Thank you so much to everyone that's bought a watch from me or had me modify their Seiko or something like that. Basically, I couldn't ever bring myself to afford this kind of watch before, but since doing that for a year or so, I was actually able to get there finally. And I wanted to celebrate with a special watch I've been looking at for years. All the way back in 2018, I got this Rolex. This is an OP39. Interesting watch, as it was the only one with this dial available for about 2 years before it was discontinued in 2020. But I love this watch dearly. This is a gift from my family. And around the time I was looking for watches for that occasion, it was a big birthday, 30th birthday, and my family said, you know, we want to get you a watch, so you go out and pick one. So I spent long and hard trying to find one that was within a reasonable budget with, you know, enough pedigree and punch, and I just loved the OP39. I'm so happy I bought it now because I could not afford one of these today because the prices have gone up on these so much. Back then also, I did actually occasionally try this on in ADs. For sure, you're never going to see this in an AD now. And also, back then, it was just too expensive. It was way out of the budget. I never thought that in 2 years I could afford something like this. And this is another reason I'm so happy to own it finally now. And not only that, but I earned the money to buy this from my hobby. And I hope some of you will appreciate that as well. I don't have huge amounts of money. I do my watches, I do my watch stuff, my Seiko modding, sourcing watches for people and stuff like that, and I can finally celebrate with this special purchase. So anyway, enough talking, let's have a look at it. As you can see, we've got both original boxes. These are the older Rolex boxes, and this is the Rolex Explorer 2 reference 216570. It's the 42mm. This one is from 2014 actually, but you would not know it given its condition. And I'll tell you how I found it and how I actually bought it, because this was a private sale watch, which I would never have thought I would do, but I did, and I will hopefully teach some of you one or two things about how you might want to approach that if you find a watch you really want on the private market. So why did I pick this watch in particular? The key thing is I've got big wrists, so Submariners, GMTs look small on me. I knew I wanted Rolex. I felt they are a good investment, no matter what people say. I won't lose money on buying this, and you know, I could have saved that money that I used to buy this watch and saved that money from my watch modding and so on, but I decided I wanted to treat myself with a watch I truly wanted, and it is this model. So the things I love about this, and it never really shows on camera, just the feel and the quality of it. Now, a lot of people don't like this model because it's a bit of an odd design. It's not like the others, but that's one of the reasons I do like it. It's a larger size, so it's 42, and that's another reason people don't like it. I think it's too big. For me, this wears absolutely perfectly, and I've got a 7 3/4 inch wrist, and I'll show you a wrist shot in just a minute. Now, compared to a lot of watches I've seen, owned, and so on, just the feel, the weight, the quality, the edge finishing, and this is an incredibly good condition version back from 2014, so the crown is nice and sharp, the back of the case is all nice and sharp. There's hardly any scratches or marks anywhere on it, and this was seldom worn by its original owner. It was bought in Hong Kong, It has all the paperwork, all the serial numbers, everything match, but I was still curious about, you know, potentially getting scammed, because I know it's not uncommon for people to even get a real watch and switch the movement and dial for a fake movement and dial and all this kind of stuff. So I was really worried about it. So I actually took this watch. I found the seller on Dubizzle in Dubai, which is kind of a step up from Facebook Marketplace, but not really. You know, you get a lot of dodgy stuff on there. So I decided, you know, the guy seemed genuine. I went around to his apartment, I had a look around the watch, everything was great. It felt great to me. I have handled this watch before in a boutique and a reseller as well, just recently. I mentioned the price to him, he seemed happy, so I actually went ahead and booked in at Adnan Jewelers in JBR in Dubai a time so that we could actually go to the jewelry store, and they sell a lot of pre-owned watches. And the guys there, for a fee, it was about 500 dirham fee, they checked the watch over completely, and interestingly they didn't want to take the case back off and have a look at the movement. And I thought, well, I paid quite a reasonable amount of money for you to check it, so I did actually ask specifically that they would do that. And here are some photos of that process. Now, some of you might be screaming in the comments thinking, why would you open a watch that's, you know, clearly unique and clearly legit? But I just wanted to make double sure. I'm not expecting to sell this one. I'm not doing it to flip it. But it's nice to know that, of course, your hard-earned money went to the right place for a genuine piece. And actually, that's going to help you when it comes to sell it. If that happens, you're going to get all of your money or back safely, and everyone's happy. But it's a complicated watch, a GMT complication. This is the reference, the caliber 3187, which is a GMT, a true GMT, of course. We have a 24-hour bezel, which is quite conical as well in its design. And what I really like about this, which is not often mentioned, is the very tapered bracelet and the quite thin bracelet leading into this quite large case. I'll show you it on my wrist now, actually, because that's gonna really display what I mean. And there's my nice OP. So I think I've got a pretty nice collection started already. So let's see what else comes my way in the future. Of course, other advantages over my OP, it's got the Easy Link extension, which is really useful actually. The bracelet, the factory bracelet, is the perfect size for my wrist, so I didn't need to get any extra links or even take any out. There we go. Just everything about the function and use of this watch is just perfect. And no matter how good I get at making Seikos, I will never be able to do this. And that's one of the things that, you know, playing with watches, understanding movements, understanding materials and fit and finish and everything, you know, you really do get an appreciation of why this is expensive. So you can see that when you sort of roll your wrist, it's really quite a thin bracelet, and that's common across Rolexes, but in this particular watch, it opens out into a large case, big diameter case, quite a long lug length as well, if you count the middle link there. So it really fits my wrist beautifully, I think. And I just love all of those hands, those huge, what look like huge hands on the dial, with that massive loom pip on the seconds hand rotating, matching the dial dots as well. The magnifier, which I know not everyone likes, but I love it. I just love the profile of this watch. If I'm driving or something like that, this kind of angle, you just get reminded of what it is. The bezels is something that the jeweler also, or the dealer, mentioned that's one of the things they look at first, because the finishing on the bezels actually goes kind of inwards. So it's brushed in like a radial pattern going in. So if you were to scratch that bezel, it's pretty hard to repair it. So you would probably want a new bezel, which is a bit of an expense. So that's something to look at for used models like this. There you go. So I'll go through quickly the features of this and how to set it. There you go, lovely Rolex bracelet. This one has never had its bracelet removed, and I won't be doing it either. I have no interest in putting this on any other strap. It's a beautiful bracelet. I'll show you a loom shot later as well, because of the big hands, big dial markers, it just looks awesome day or night. I really enjoy this watch a lot, as you can tell. I enjoy my other watch a lot as well, and there's a couple others I've actually got since this one, which I'll be sharing very soon on the channel. But this is the prize of my collection at the moment for sure. There's nothing that can compare to this. So, like I mentioned, one key way of checking a watch's general condition and quality, and in case you might be worried that you have a fake or something like that, is how sharp these edges are, especially on these corners, and also the crown knurling. That's one thing I noticed straight away. If I've ever handled a non-genuine copy model or something like that, no matter how nice the rest of the watch is, you can feel the crown is not as sharp as that. Everything is just fitted perfectly. So the operation then, I've just pulled it to the first position, so that's hand winding. Now to set this watch, I'm actually going to reset it because I'm pretty sure it's not set to the right GMT. So I like to set the orange hand to London time, and then the hour and minute to, of course, the local time. So the local time is correct here, so it's about 10:27. Oh, sorry, 11:27. So I'm going to pull this out all the way. That way the second hand stops, and I'm actually going to set the orange hand to. So I'm just looking at the orange hand here as I'm winding it across. That's the GMT hand. I'm going to go up to, what time did we say? 11. So -3 would be 8 in the morning. So that's 8 in the morning there in the UK. And the minutes were at 20, let's put it on 28. Okay, so now we're going to set the hour hand, and this is quite clever. So you go back into the second position, and notice the second hand keeps going here. We can just set this to 11, just one click at a time. Okay, and you can actually go backwards as well with no effect on the movement. And interestingly, if you go backwards, you can also change the date backwards, and this is not a problem to do. So this is their kind of version of a quick set date. So the date is actually the 15th. So let's go back to the 15th, and there we go. My time is now set with the UK time, so it's 8:29, and the local time is 11:29. The use of that, by the way, if you're wondering, is if you are traveling, you are actually supposed to keep your orange hand as your home time, and then this is your local time. So, you know, I do use it a little bit backwards because I mainly look at the regular 12-hour hands there. But still, it's up to you how you set it. You can also just set it to both to your local time, so you get the 24-hour and 12-hour kind of display there. Now on this one, my last one, actually, the crown lines up just about. On this one, it doesn't. Well, I wasn't expecting it to. I don't think that is a feature of Rolex. I thought it might be, but it isn't. So I just love the brushed finish. The brushing on the bracelet's beautiful. You know, you can see there's barely any scratches or any wear marks on this one. There are a few, of course, or even on the clasp. So I really found a winner here. Now, this watch cost me 29,000 dirhams last year, and I bought it from a private seller, lovely guy, very accommodating. Went to but I could not recommend going to get your watches checked out properly, because though I was 99% sure the watch was fine, you know, it's worth it for that 500 dirhams, which is not that much, you know, to buy assurance I would definitely do the same thing again, and I would use the same shop or a different shop. Another one here is Timepiece 360. They were offering the same service. It just so happened it was more local to us, the JBR place. But that is my kind of journey for this watch. I'm incredibly proud to own it. Would I sell it? Honestly, I don't know. I don't wear it enough. I should wear it more. And I think this watch is a bit of a turning point for me because though I kind of spent a long time saving up money from my watch projects and so on to be able to buy it, when it comes to the value of it, and if now it's valued at 35,000 plus dirhams, like almost $10,000, you know, that would be a solid sale price for a watch like this. I'm just about to start furnishing a house, and I calculated everything we wanted to put in the house and add to our furniture and get all this nice new stuff, and that was the same price as this watch. So for someone like me who isn't, you know, doesn't have a lot of luxury things, isn't rich by any means, is it a bit excessive? Would I worry about losing this watch just solely because it's worth so much, or damaging it, or something like that? It's something I'm going through to try and figure that out at the moment. And what I think everyone would probably have a watch that's acceptable in terms of value just to wear every day, and this one might be pushing it for me. Even though I do live in Dubai, which is incredibly safe, I would have no trouble wearing this anywhere. I'm just worried I might damage it one day, and then it will become worth so much less that, I don't know. It's just too nice for me, I think. Almost it's too nice to wear out all the time. But I do intend to wear it more often and enjoy it, and, you know, think of it as a small trophy of the success I've had. So let's see that loom shot, and we'll close out the video there. So there's that stunning blue loom that you get, the Rolex Chromolite loom. Looks a bit more blue than it actually is on the camera, but it's stunning. And as you can see, there's no trouble with it shining even in the light of this room here. So I do have some other watches I wanted to share with you. I will share them soon. They are both Tudor Black Bay variants, two special watches to me. And to be honest, those are the ones I wear all the time. This one comes out for special occasions and, you know, just to admire it sometimes. But a real special watch for me, as you can tell. Probably I love it dearly, and I just think it fits me so well. Let's get it back on. In fact, I'll wear this now for the rest of the day, I think. I really appreciate your support, guys. Keep liking the videos, keep subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Tell your friends about it. Again, I couldn't have bought this without the support I've had in my hobby personally, and I would challenge everyone else watching this, if you want to buy a very special watch to you, might not be this one, but whatever it might be, try and do something, start something that really harnesses your hobby and your ability to profit a little bit from it. And then one day you might be able to make your dreams come true in that sense, and buy that thing that seems ridiculous, seems overpriced, you know, it's not a practical thing to do, but it is if your hobby, ambition, and effort has paid for it specifically. So I think everyone's got the ability to do that, and I wish you all the best. In the meantime, keep watching, thank you, and I'll see you next time.